Okay, I would like to introduce you as one of my clients. And last week you had a whole day hearing via Zoom before the MSPB, which is Merit Systems Protection Board, a federal agency. It was a disciplinary hearing regarding your dismissal. We think we did well. We hope we won, but I guess we will find out sooner than later. Can you tell us about your experience, what you learned from it, and can you share any tips that you have for other clients, for other people who will go through the same thing with MSPB?
Sure. Well, the first thing is it wasn't exactly easy finding a good lawyer. Part of that was the number of people who actually are available within the Sacramento area to serve on and protect federal employment law, people who fall under the federal employment law, which is the MSPB, Merit System Promotion Board hearing structure. So, first of all, it was find someone who could actually try the case, and then finding a lawyer who, like Mr. Itkin, was available at the time and had a proven track record and was willing to take my case for that matter. Felt that my information was credible and took a chance on me as a client.
Well, thank you for these kind words. And I want to take this opportunity and say that many people, many clients don't know that, but a good client makes a lawyer's life, career, days, nights so much better. From the moment we started talking and started emailing, I knew you were a nice guy, you're a likable guy, you're not dramatic, you're not angry, you get back to me right away. If I need a document, if I need something,
Sure.
you send it to me right away. You pay your bills on time, which also cannot be taken for granted. And that made me all the more motivated to work, to pay attention to your case more than to anything else, because I think it's a human natural inclination for lawyers and non-lawyers to want to help people who they like, people who don't get on their nerves,
Yeah.
people who have a legitimate case. And I always felt that something was fishy and that you shouldn't have been disciplined and dismissed, and that made all the difference. And I want to thank you for that. And
Yeah.
again,
I guess to follow through on that, it was making sure my attention was to the details. If I had information or questions, to contact you, and also to get back to you immediately and be a good client.
I appreciate it. And I would like to give a few more tips to people who are looking for lawyers, just to talk about a few mistakes. Some people are looking for the cheapest lawyer and literally to the dime. Hey, you're charging 35%, but I want 33%. They end up with someone who is charging a little bit less, but runs their case to the ground, or neglects their case for the long time, or withdraws from representation and leaves them high and dry at some critical juncture. Or they're looking for someone who charges $200 instead of $225 an hour. And that doesn't mean that that's always the case. More expensive is not always better. But if somebody charges much less, unless they work for a nonprofit, just like anywhere else, if it's too good to be true, or if somebody charges too little, they probably don't appreciate their work, or they're not gonna invest as much effort into your case as it should. They're not going to give the attention that your case deserves. And when the stakes are high, such as in your case,
Right.
are you going to be reinstated, or are you not going to get reinstated? Are you going to get your job back where you've been for 15 years, or are you not? So especially when you get big stakes, it's important not to let a few dollars here and there guide your decision. And finally, I would like to say that it's very important for people to ask their lawyer, why do I have a case?
Right. Well, that was important right from the get go.
Right? Why do I not have a case? Why? And listen, it's not rocket science most of the time. You're a scientist. You're dealing with much more complicated things than most legal issues are. Am I going to be able to win?
Well, I think the question for you was, what would be what are you willing to accept as a minimum amount, not amount of money, but a minimum finding. So I was wanting this not to be in my record as a minimum,
Right.
and we thought that was something that was available and probable. So, and hopefully it'll be better than that.
So you had realistic expectations.
Yes.
You listen, and at the minimum, when you hear a lawyer explain to you why you have a case or you don't. It also gives you an insight into their knowledge. Are they knowledgeable in that area of law? It's much better than any accolade and any shiny poster and anything else. Their knowledge. And and one last thing I would like to mention, just like in any other aspect of life, if somebody makes too many promises, and lawyers usually are not supposed to, are not allowed to make promises.
Right.
If somebody tells you we're going to win this case for sure, it's a slam dunk, it's a red flag. It's never a slam dunk because there's so many unknowns and unexpected circumstances. And let's not forget, there is a lawyer on the other side who is
That's
pushing
true.
against
Yep.
you.
Yep.
So the best a lawyer can do is say, we're going to do our best. I promise you I'm going to try my hardest, and we have a good chance.
Yep.
But if somebody promises you something, you got to run away.
Right. And I think even going into this case, you set my expectations as possible, but it gave me the confidence then to go in and be relaxed when I was in front of the judge. So that was all good.
And also, as a client, you have to ask yourself, what do I have to lose? I'm going to invest this much money.
Right.
Am I willing to live with the worst case scenario? I'm going to invest this much money, and if I lose, at least I know I tried.
Yeah.
Versus, this is too much money, I cannot afford it, I got to pay rent, and the stakes are not that high, I don't care because I have this other job or I have this other thing going on.
Yeah.
Great. Any other parting thoughts?
No, thank you for your time. It was a good experience, and actually I learned a lot through the whole experience. I wouldn't recommend anyone going, and getting in trouble at work, but if you ever do feel like you've been wronged, that you should definitely seek out help.
Wonderful. And I promised, and I forgot to mention, I wanted to comment on your testimony. So you did very well because you came across as likable, mellow, not angry. You were not argumentative. Your answers were sharp and to the point. The only small mistake you did throughout the whole day is that you went off criticizing your supervisor and telling the judge how his instructions did not make sense.
In one meeting, I felt his instructions were very difficult to understand, and at that point, I even had pulled in a coworker who had been in the meeting and asked him the same thing. So the point of this is to not criticize the people that you dealt with, and to show yourself in a good light and let it run off your back moving forward. So,
and specifically about that criticism, since the judge wasn't there, he's gonna take this type of criticism with skepticism if it's directed towards someone in a high rank position, because they assume if somebody is in such high rank, they know how to explain, right? So it's just a perception. I mean, it's just a perception because they're not there. But other than that, you did great. Thank you for this interview, and again, we'll hope for a good outcome.
Yep. Have a great day.